Radio Lomax, l'émission du 106.
Ça gratte, ça rappe comme un verre de bourbon après une rupture ou un braquage dans une supérette, selon vos affinités. Et c'est l'indispensable artiste qui accompagnera vos envies de soul sincère, analogique et brutale, jusque dans les expressions qu'elle suggère. DeRobert Adams, aux commandes de son label et de son groupe les Half-Truths, donne à voir un aperçu de la ferveur des 60s poussée dans le rouge, alors mettez des gants. Roule.
Radio Lomax, l'émission du 106.
Okay, welcome, Nick. Robert. Oh, you have a nickname or a sort of short one?
Yes, sir. Everyone calls me D for short.
D, okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. Okay, so D. I'm sorry if this sounds genuine, but I understand you grew up in Memphis.
I did, yes, sir.
Okay, and that you worked your voice through the network of local churches?
Yes, sir.
Okay, can you tell us what it's like to grow up this way? Because that's not something we have around in Europe, so...
Gotcha. Growing up in church is really, really good. I think that it has instilled in me a lot of who I am, as far as the love that I share in my music, the way I sing, the way I deliver it, how I dress, all of it. It has to do with it all. I will say that the church has driven me to this point, and I'll leave it at that, and I am excited and I'm so grateful for the upbringing, but I love where it has driven me to. I love where it has me right now. Okay. This right now is purpose.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
great.
So I thank the church for that.
Wow. Okay. So how Nashville was felt by you compared to that? It is really the city, is it really a musician's ally or not? I think you can have an outlook on that, I'm sure.
I think, obvious musical differences, R&B versus country overall, but of course there was some cross collateralization there where Elvis came to Nashville and vice versa. Other artists went down to Memphis to record because they're only 3.5 hours away, something like that. So I think that's the biggest difference, but great musicians in both places. There's a lot more music industry as far as performing rights organizations and record labels in Nashville than Memphis, but there's a lot of that in Memphis as well.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, so huge difference, no ceiling, no,
not really. There isn't. Nashville is known for country and Memphis is known for soul. That's the only difference. But as far as it all, I feel that both of them are music cities.
Yeah,
in their own right,
definitely
because of the concentration of session musicians.
Yes. Yeah, and then East Tennessee, far east, Bristol is where bluegrass was invented. Exactly. So Tennessee, we've got blues, country, and bluegrass, all in Tennessee.
Okay. 2025, so you come back with Nothing to Prove. Can we stop a moment on that track and discuss what makes it special?
Yes, we've already kind of prepared for this whole thing, and like I said, I like to be transparent.
Yep.
I don't want to lie. I don't want to be fake or phony. Mm-hmm. So Nothing to Prove is about an actual court case that I went through.
Okay.
And it was a moment where I was accused of something that I did not do, and they wanted me to confess to something that I did not do, and I told them no, I have nothing to prove because I didn't do anything, and so Nothing to Prove is like the first verse says, try to play me for a fool when you're the one breaking rules. So, most of the time government and court systems, they break the rules and then we get in trouble for doing the same thing that they did. So we wanted to raise awareness to, that these things are happening all the time to everyday regular people. And we have to stand together and we have to make sure that that we understand that you have nothing to prove most of the time. You just need to make sure, stand still and do nothing. If you don't have anything to prove, that's the best way to confront things like that. So Nothing to Prove is about that. Okay. And I'm here So apparently I had nothing to prove.
Yeah, sure. Okay. The weird thing is that even if you do not have anything to prove, and you're still sweating because of the presence
the
of
scariest
all
moment
that.
of my life. Oh
Yeah.
my God, it was the most
Sure.
scariest moment of my life.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Nikki.
No, I'm just saying that's nightmare scenario. Getting accused of something you didn't do, and then think how many people are in prison right now that were accused of something they didn't do, and because of circumstance and because the skills of the prosecutors that they are in there, doing, potentially
things.
bending the law in order to even, to get this person convicted. It's scary.
So those things happen all the time. So we have just, I would just say that, those were scary moments. But in all of that, we have to make sure that we stay true to ourselves. We cannot do what we think is the right thing to do. We have to do what we know is right. We have to be who we know is right. And that's the whole thing. That's the basis of nothing to prove. You don't have to prove anything. That's truth.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Truth is truth.
Sure.
And only you can make it truth. Other than that, it's just gossip.
Okay. So I'd like us to have a different perspective now on another point, which is business. And would you care to explain our viewers?
You see where my head went, right?
Yeah,
You said business, and I said,
about GED Soul Records.
Yeah.
Of course. If you could have, an outlook to give us on that project of yours.
Yeah. We've been going since 2008, and DeRobert's been with us since the beginning. The first Scripps record we put out, 45 that we put out, had D, and he was singing on it. And then right after that, we formed DeRobert and the Half-Truths and put out Fallen in Debt. And we just kept putting out 45s and still are. And DeRobert and the Half-Truths has always been one of the main artists on the label. But we got Magic and Threes, we got Devando, we got Armintha Williams. She just goes by the artist name Armintha, though. And there's somebody else I'm leaving off. Singletrons, something that's coming up. Just always, I've got a studio, and we record and produce and write all the stuff in house with D, and Dave Singleton's the co-owner, and that's pretty much the rundown.
Yeah.
I was asking because I was wondering if independence, being DIY, was a value that you're cherishing right now.
I'll start that off, and I'll let him finish. Yes, I think the most beautiful thing about GED Soul Records, and the most beautiful thing about ever meeting Nick and Dave Singleton, has been the freedom to be me.
Yeah. Oh, sure.
And the freedom to, and the motivation to be me, and that, the imperfections. And the one thing he taught me, like, as a singer, is like, it doesn't always have to be pretty. Just like life, those rough spots, they add character, and they make people know that that's you. So one thing that they have, that I've always had a problem with, is not loving who I am, and not loving where I come from, and not wanting to be who I am. And I will tell you today, I stand right here at your table right now in this very moment. And I tell you, I love being DeRobert. I love being who he is. I love being everything that he is. And I have to thank my buddy here, right here, man, because this is my brother. This is my family. Nicholas Devan that's my family. He has sacrificed and given so much, GD so has. And I have to say this, I know this is long, but I love y'all, man. From the bottom of my heart, I love you. I love you. I love you. And my dream would not be possible. You wouldn't ever hear this voice if it had not been for this guy sitting right next to me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stop.
Love you
I'll
too,
cry.
D.
Yeah, sure. I heard it cracking. It's legit.
Yeah,
sure.
But I want to let him finish on the question that you asked. Could you ask the question one more time?
Yeah, sure. But I had everything.
He said
I
it.
wanted
He
to-
said it.
Yeah, that independence as a value. That was it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, you get to do what you want if you're doing it yourself. Maybe slower, but yeah, you can put out whatever creative stuff you want.
And to finish on that note, in a world where half-truth and fake news and blah blah blah, are everything we hear, what notions do you put behind the name of the band?
Not much, really. It was just sort of a
Okay.
name we came up with. Right,
really? Yeah.
The one thing we said was that it wasn't a real band to begin with. It was just D, and then Dave and I created the music, so it was a half truth. But really, it was just a name that.
I mean, they were playing every single thing on the record, and then not saying, So yeah, that is the whole half-truth of it. But can I keep going? I think that how babies grow. And they become, babies, they're infants, and then they become who we are today. I think that in a lot of ways, half-truths it's relevant right now.
Okay.
And if you can look at it as a positive way, you can look at it as a negative way. On the negative side, yes, the media and all this stuff. And yes, it is all half-truth. And we have to be the whole truth.
Okay.
As far on a positive note, the good thing about this is that half-truths is, we are people who I think this is funny, they are a bunch, I'm a black man and they are white guys who play music better than me.
I don't know about that.
Man, I'm telling you, these guys can play some music. Do you hear me?
Yeah, sure. And I
would rather take them over anybody else any day. They got soul, they've got flavor, they got funk, they got it all of it. So yes, if you want to say that's a half-truth, that's a half-truth, but they are definitely the whole truth.
Wow. Okay, we can end it right here. That was some conclusion. Thank you very much, both of you. Yeah,
Much appreciated.
Thank you for the love sharing.
Thank you, merci beaucoup.
Thank you. Mic drop.
Radio Lomax.